Okay, so I just recorded one video review for a book that it got me back into my reading groove, hopefully for good. And this is the second book that I've read since picking up a book in about 7 months. This one is For the Life of Anna, Part 1. I believe it's titled Enslaved by Marissa Honeycutt, and just like the last book I reviewed, it's a dark book, and it's way, way, way darker than I think the previous one that I just reviewed. It's a lot of triggers. It's very dark. I mean, there was a couple moments in there I'm like, what the fuck am I reading? Why the fuck am I reading this? But of course you gotta keep going. So there are triggers in here for sure. A little background. Okay, well, let me say first, when you finish reading this book, there are, I think, 6 in this series. And when you finish reading book 1, you're going to be left with a lot of questions. I know that I wasn't, so I immediately picked up book 2, and I'm about probably 30-45%-ish into it. I still have quite a bit of questions, not as many as I did, but it's really good. I didn't know when I picked this up, but there is kind of a bit of a paranormal tinge flare in it. Not too bad. I'm not normally one to read paranormal books. But in this one, kind of, sort of, it's okay. It makes things a lot interesting. Anna, where do I start with her? Oh God, okay, let's see. When she was 16, she lost her virginity to this guy named Devin, and she believes that Devin loves her, and she believes that she loves Devin. Well, the next day, this was on her 16th birthday, the next day, her parents had died when she was 12, and so she went to live with her guardian, and she called him Uncle Jack. She kind of called Devin Uncle Devin too, but it was weird, and it kind of stopped after a while. But the day after she lost her virginity, so the day after her 16th birthday, Devin and Jack come to her, and they are completely different people. It's like 180, just, whoa. They are cruel, they're evil, they're mean. They, for the next 4 years, she is trained, and she's a sex slave, kind of, but she's not really a sex slave, but she is. You have to read to find out. And so, anyways, in her training, in the training, she is not trained like the other sex slaves are. Then I will tell you about them in a minute. Excuse me, it's in my throat. She is physically abused quite a bit. It's terrible. I mean, she is, well, it's kind of like hardcore BDSM stuff, but it's not really. I mean, she is trained to get off on no matter what the situation is. So even if she's being raped, she has been trained to climax, and it's bad. I mean, it's pretty bad. As I said, like, it's a dark book, and I don't really want to go too into it. Just know that her training was cruel, very cruel. And so when she turns 20, so 4 years later, she is taken to the manor, and Devin kind of owns the manor. There are these people called elders, I think, and I could be wrong because I'm thinking there are more as I've continued reading. I think there are like 7 elders, and these elders and the group of brothers that the elders kind of rule over, they rule the world, basically. Anyways, so Anna becomes Devin's mistress, right? He has a wife, he has kids. So she lives in the manor now, and she is. I'm trying to think of how to explain this. Devin has basically kind of told her that she has to obey him, Devin, of course, all the time, and do whatever he says, and blah, blah, blah. And that includes seducing any man that comes, or having them seduce her, or basically her sole job, kind of, is to pleasure any man that he asks her to, or whatever. She's there for sex, because she's a woman, and she's whatever. So she meets this guy at a gathering, and the gathering is like, the brothers and people anyway. So, I don't really want to give much away since I'm already in book 2. But there's a lot more to this story. I mean, there are good guys, I think. I did read the, let me see if I can find the blurb for this book. there was a part in the blurb for book 1 that makes me think I could be wrong when I'm thinking that there are there might be good guys. And let me tell you, this book 1 is free, okay? It's free. So I highly suggest you get it if this is something that you want. The antagonist isn't just a bad guy. He's evil. My hero is not perfect. He doesn't always make the best choices, but his intentions are good. My heroine is human-ish. Her worldview is skewed. Things that may appall you are perfectly normal to her. You'll see why within a few chapters of book 1. So yes, there actually is a good guy, right? Or so you think. But there is. But it's not who you think he is. So, I am enthralled with this series. I cannot put it down. I had to pull myself away from my Kindle to do this because I've been, just dragging around about doing or whatever. God, I've heard many, many great things about the series, and I never actually picked it up, and I did, and it's really, really, really good. 5, 6 stars for this series. I cannot wait to finish it, and I don't know if I want it to end because it's really good, but I want to know what happens. I want to just, I can't even form my words. Marissa Honeycutt, my goodness, you are an amazing writer, and, like I said, I don't like paranormal, but the little itty bits of paranormal you have in there, they add a lot to the story and definitely make me have a lot of questions. And so I'm hoping that, well, not really hoping. I don't know. But it's so good. So, yes, pick this book up. Seriously.